What is up? Welcome to another edition of AH Live, and we're so excited to look back at another year of incredible performances. It's just been amazing, whether it be solo performances that were sent in, or of course, once in a while I like to jump in and duel with our guests as well. So we're going to take a look at many of those. But real quick, just want to remind you guys, because we're going to get straight to the footage. So I'm going to throw this up a little bit earlier than I usually do. If you want to support the show, we make it real easy. Click the link in the description. It'll take you to PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, also to my website where you can grab any of my records or merchandise. And also, of course, you can support through the Stars portal. We appreciate you guys. You are the reason we are here now 90 weeks in a row and celebrating 2021 for this week and next week. So huge shout out to all the incredible guests for the past year. And hey, let's get to it. Here we go. Best of 21. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So incredible to look at these amazing performances from 2021. And you know what time it is? It's time to bring in my lovely wife, Kat, with the Cat Cam.
Hi.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going very fantastic because number one, enjoying all of these performances, but number two, we're pre-recording because literally right now we're on the beach.
We're on the beach
in Hawaii. You guys know we make Hawaii as pretty much an annual thing.
Yeah.
Although actually this year we went twice because we missed our family vacation last winter.
Mm-hmm.
So we went in July. Now we're back again in December. But we didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So we pre-recorded this right before we jumped on the plane. We didn't jump off a plane.
As you can see, we're like in vacay mode right now.
In our mind, we're
already
there.
We're already there.
But no, we're hanging out in Waikiki 8 days.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot planned. We're going to do a family photo shoot.
Yeah.
We're also celebrating the new year. Drop in the comments, what are y'all doing for New Year's Eve?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be hanging with some friends of ours and celebrating it Hawaii style.
Celebrating Hawaii style.
I don't know what that means. Does that mean we have a Mai Tai when it switches over to
midnight?
midnight?
Have everything.
Do they drop a coconut instead of a ball? I don't know. We're going to find out.
So as you guys know, Heidi and Ruben, you guys have met them and seen them through photos. Yeah, Heidi and I have known each other since we're like 19,
mm-hmm.
and then we've known Ruben for a long time before they even got married, and so we're always hanging with them when we're in Hawaii because they've lived there for a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're ringing in the new year on the island.
And Ruben, he teaches, I don't want to get this wrong, but he's in the, is it Latin music studies? It's something to that degree at the college there.
Right.
Is it University of Hawaii?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think.
So yeah, we always get to chat music. He's got an incredible vinyl record collection.
Does,
and he actually gifted us some vinyl a few years ago.
We came
home with a whole bounty.
Well, yeah, and I remember that particular trip because
you came home with a bunch of hats. I remember
Heidi
that.
was cleansing out. They both were cleansing because in Hawaii, I'm sure as a lot of people know, like in cities, you know, like your space is very limited. Plus, a lot of the property in Hawaii was built in like the 50s and 60s, so square footage is small. So she said, what I try to do is when I buy new stuff, I get rid of some of the old stuff.
Yeah.
A practice that I need to kind of like
we need to adopt that.
But so she gave me like, I don't know, 5 hats because I love hats, fedoras, as does she. And she gave me some shoes and some clothes. So, and then Adam had some vinyl, and Adam Jr., I think, got like a book and something else. And so we went home. We had to stuff some stuff in our suitcase and then carry stuff on as well. I had to carry my hats. But yeah, that was fun.
No, it's always a blast going over there, and we have a couple things planned, but then we have several days where we plan nothing, which is actually our favorite thing to do over there is just wake up, see what we feel like. Do we want to get something to eat? Do we want to just chill in the hotel, order some pizza? So,
and do nothing. Yeah.
You know, it's definitely a good way to unplug because when we get back January 2nd. On the 3rd, bam, right back at it. I've got a bunch of projects I'm working on, producing for some different people. And then we're on the road, I think, like a week and a half after that. Let me throw the schedule up there. We definitely hope to see y'all out there. We'll be in Fort Worth, Texas as our first show back. Saturday, January 15th, and we're at Spaghettini in SoCal. Then we're in San Antonio, Irving, Texas, which is outside of Dallas. And so on and so on. So we have a bunch of really awesome shows coming up and a couple of new ones. Middle C in Charlotte is brand new to the schedule, just got added a week ago. Also, Jazz in the Country in King George, Virginia, which is between DC and Richmond. That just got added, as did the Irving Las Colinas Jazz and Art Fair. So a lot of really cool shows coming up. Hope to see you on the road.
Hope to see you on the
2022
road.
Rising Up Tour. We're rising up. Rising up. Back on the streets. Little Eye of the Tiger, you know.
Right.
Hey, Rocky.
Exactly.
It's a good
so
film.
we're super excited about this vacay because of all the stuff that we have planned and not planned. But we're going to a luau.
Yeah.
And our last trip, we didn't get to
That's
make it
true.
to the luau because, and actually the last trip, it was our first time in Hawaii in the summer.
Yeah,
because we would
never
always
gone.
do the week of Christmas, or like we'd go there like January 2nd and spend like a week or two there. So it was a little different experience being in the thick of the travel season and just like waiting in line for 30 minutes for coffee and an hour plus like at our favorite breakfast and brunch spots where usually we just kind of walk in, you know?
Yeah, and you would walk up, we'll have a table in 2 hours. It's like, what?
And even Adam Jr. was like, can we not come in the summertime anymore?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it was a little different. And then too, also because of COVID, a lot of restaurants, where their seating capacity was smaller just because they would separate, 2 or 3 tables from each other. And as we said before, Hawaii is very strict with COVID safety, which they have to be, because they're an island. So we feel very safe. Everyone going onto the island, you have to be fully vaccinated or have a negative test. And if you're not, then they make you quarantine in your hotel. So they're not playing.
Yeah.
And so we weren't able to see a luau our last trip in July, just because ticket sales were probably half the capacity of what they normally would do. And everything was sold out for like up to, I think when we were there, the next available tickets for the luau were probably like 3 or 4 weeks away.
Right.
So we made sure to look early and book it this particular time.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about that because it's always fun. It's always great food.
It's kind of a tradition.
And it's kind of like you're just with a big family.
The fire show.
Fire show.
It's incredible. Yeah.
It's just incredible. And then just the Polynesian culture and Hawaiian culture is just so beautiful. So it's like always a treat to get a little taste of that in the luau. So
100%. Well, we do have a few photos to share from the past couple weeks. Number one, we're always proud of Adam Jr. and he's been progressing in basketball, having such a blast being back out there playing. So we've got a couple of great pictures. He's getting very, very tall. He's shot past you.
He really did. Yeah, he shot past me. And look at how big his feet are, you guys.
It's crazy. His feet are as big as mine. Now, he's about 5'3", maybe 5'3.5", but his feet, I believe, are 10. He wears a size 10 shoe, and I wear a 10.5. So hopefully he grows into his feet. I think he will.
Yeah, definitely will.
And here he is with some of his teammates.
Some of his teammates.
This is at practice.
Jason and Corey Jr.
Yeah. And I think we have, is this the video? Let's see. We have a video of him doing some incredible jumping. Oh, this is it. I think this is a slow-mo.
It is. Yeah.
Dang, he's got some hops. Now, do you remember? He told me, I forget how high was this that he jumped.
Well, and that's why he took a photo right next to it because he wanted to show you how far it came up.
So it's maybe, if he's 5'3", so maybe it's 3.5 feet, 4 feet, something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's see it one more time. Dang.
And look, all that is just the leg and the mid-body. He used no hands or anything.
That's crazy.
And so, if you're familiar with certain exercises and workouts and fitness, this is, an exercise that you would do for stamina and like muscle growth and everything like that. And so you do that in the gym with certain like stools, but they have these there at the basketball gym. And so some of the kids, they just kind of run and go for it.
Right. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. And we also ventured out to go see, and I can't keep straight the name of these movies. They all have something to do with home. Spider-Man, something home.
This is Spider-Man No Way Home.
No Way Home.
So the first...
Are they going to make Spider-Man Home Alone?
We don't know.
Is that coming next?
So the first Spider-Man with Tom Holland, is Spider-Man Homecoming.
Right. Okay.
And then
that sounds right.
the second one is Spider-Man Far From Home because they were on their school trip in Europe.
True.
And then this third one is Spider-Man No Way Home because it's kind of crazy. We don't want to give anything out if you guys haven't seen it. But we were super excited to see this one, especially Adam Jr. because as you guys know, if there's any kind of collection of movies like series, you have to wait almost, 2 years for the next film to come out.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Although that is one cool thing about Marvel is that, they keep the story going through each movie and also through the series. Because now they got these kind of mini-series that they're doing on Disney Plus, like Hawkeye we're watching right now. And they did WandaVision. And what was the other one that we watched? All of those were so good. Oh, the Loki.
So it's like so interesting because everything is just like intertwined into one another. And if you watch one thing, you really won't understand it if you haven't watched like the previous 2 movies or 5 movies, So it's I just love it because it's such a chain, and then Adam Jr. is like really into it. So it's always fun, to be into stuff that your kids are super interested in, and you kind of like it too.
The movie was incredible.
The movie was incredible
action, but then they had some tear-jerking moments too. I definitely felt myself getting a little misty. I was like,
I definitely cried. I was not the only one though. I heard other people crying. Although we saw it in a IMAX theater, so it was a huge theater.
Yeah.
And of course, 96% of people are masked regardless of their vaccination status. But we literally were not sitting next to anyone. There probably were 4 people sitting in the row in front of us, but towards the middle, and then maybe 2 or 3 rows were empty behind us before there were like 2 other people. So it was very spread out. So we like going to the super large theaters.
Definitely.
Yeah,
it was a great experience.
I heard other people crying. I was just like,
No, it was it was hard to keep together. It was anyways, we don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it.
Don't want to give it away.
Amazing movie and fun family night out. And so we still have to go see. Adam Jr. was reminding us we still have to see Eternals, and we have to see Venom 2. So we got some our work cut out for us.
We have, and we're super into Marvel, mainly because Adam Jr. is into it. But I mean, the films are still great films, regardless of it being comic book kind of characters and storylines. They're great films, and if you've never seen one. What's the first one they need to start with? Is it Captain America?
I don't know.
Avenger?
Well, what's interesting, and Adam Jr. hipped us to this, is that there's the timeline of when they came out, like in real life, like what year it came out. But then in terms of watching them sequentially for the storyline, it's a different timeline than when they actually came out. So I can't remember. At this point, there's like 30 movies, so I couldn't tell you.
No, it sounds confusing, but it's not. And then we actually did a marathon with Adam Jr. And so you would watch the first movie, say it's Captain America, the first Avenger. And you would think, okay, I need to watch Captain America Winter Soldier, which is the second Captain America. But the next film you really need to watch is Iron Man, the first Iron Man, which, you know what I mean?
In order to go in order,
yeah.
Right.
And then after that, you probably would have to see the second Thor or something like that.
That's what we have Adam Jr. for. He's the dictionary of all of that. He can tell us.
So for it to go sequentially through like the correct timeline within the story, it's, not the correct timeline for us as far as like, 2005, 2006. It's like different.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Black Widow is pretty new in terms of when it came out, but it's actually, a bit of a origin story.
It's like in between 2 movies ago. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it sounds confusing, but I mean, like if you're on Disney Plus, it will tell you, and you can like kind of go through it that way.
Yeah.
But if you haven't watched any Marvel, start with I can't remember. I think it's either Captain America, the first Avenger, or it's the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
So, but they're great films. It's really good. We're like deep in it.
And I think we have a few more pictures. Oh, we've also been working on the house. Well, I should say Kat has been working on the house. And so
Well,
I
kind
really
of.
enjoy what you've been doing with the pictures here. It looks so awesome. Tell us
Thank
what's going on here.
you.
What's the
Okay,
theme?
so as you guys probably know, our walls are all the color is called distant gray. So it is the gray that comes directly after the white. So when you look at our house, all the walls look white, which is great. But there is like a certain time where like if the sun is setting in the perfect way and you get that light hitting, you can definitely see like the tint of gray that it is. So putting, beautiful black frames with the white mats and then black and white pictures, it just makes the space look even larger. And it looks very modern, nice, clean lines. Doesn't look like, too much busyness going on. So I love just the kind of, it almost is modern. You could call it modern, but then it is kind of classic because you can't ever go wrong with the black frame and then the white mat and then black and white photos. It just kind of looks really sophisticated and artistic. And so yeah, you see Rufus here. The picture at the top right is Adam Jr. and his cousins when they were very little. And that's actually, we were in Louisiana at my great-grandmother's homegoing.
Or as they say, Louisiana.
And down at the bottom, that's one of our trips in Hawaii. And we had to take a picture in front of this building because it's called Bubby's. If you guys ever shop at Whole Foods, there is a brand called Bubby's, and it's mochi. Japanese mochi, so it's ice cream with like a sticky rice kind of frozen outer layer, which we love. Adam Jr. loves, and it's based out of Hawaii. And they had this creamery here where you could get all different flavors of mochi and ice cream. But sadly, they did not survive during COVID lockdown when Hawaii was shut down, and so they're not there anymore.
Well, the physical. What do you call that? Storefront isn't there,
right?
But you can still get them in Trader Joe's and all sorts of other stores.
Yeah. So the storefront just there is not there anymore. But yes, you can still purchase the products. And I don't know if they have them at Trader Joe's because Trader Joe's has some other brand, but they're definitely at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
And if you're in other states that don't have Whole Foods, I'm not sure. Maybe just Google Bubby's Mochi and see where you can find it.
It's so good. And we have a couple
so
more.
Good.
Oh, I really enjoyed this picture. I remember this photo shoot distinctly.
Yeah.
Little Adam was full of energy. Of course, they never want to go to the photo shoot. And then once he got there, he was like jumping off the wall.
I know. Look at his big smile. So here are some other pictures that are going to be hung somewhere in the hallway and in the living room. These ones are larger.
So they're not going to sit on the floor. That's
they're
not the plan.
They're on the floor right now just because I've been really playing around with the different photos that I want to put in there. And it took me a really long time to even get these frames. They're from Crate and Barrel. And when I would look at them, they would be sold out or on back order, and then you'd have to wait months until they're back in stock. Then when they're back in stock, you literally have to buy it that second or else they'll be back sold out. So one time I did have them in my cart, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy 6 or 9. And I said, I'll figure it out in the morning. Well, in the morning, they were all sold out again, so I had to wait more like months again before they were back in stock, and I finally grabbed them. And so these are very near and dear to my heart, and I want them perfect just because of everything that I had to go through waiting basically all of 2020 for these frames. And again, with the black and white, I mean, it's just so sophisticated. It just gives it like really clean lines, and it really like elongates or widens the wall that you put it on, and like how you structure them. And just really nice.
No, they look gorgeous. And
Thank you.
And the black and white just makes it so classy. Kind of doesn't matter what the picture is, it just looks more dignified. It's black and white.
It does. It really does. And I love color photos. There's some photos that I see and I'm like, this picture is just so beautiful. And sometimes when it's in black and white, it doesn't capture the essence fully.
True.
Depending on what it is. And so that's why it was really, really hard to kind of like decide on what photos to actually put in there because some of them I'm like, ooh, but this is so pretty in color, but I can't mix and match. You got to pick one.
No, it looks great. And the house is really coming together. We'll have more pictures. Not right now, update on the pool. It is up and running. Mm-hmm. The lights are working. The fountains are working. They haven't turned the heater on because the pebble is still curing. And it's kind of cold to get in the pool anyways. Yeah. So when we get back from our trip, that is the first phone call I'm making is, hey, let's get this heater going.
Let's round it up.
At the very least, we could get in the jacuzzi and just kind of, chill in there.
Exactly. So the house is just like
coming together.
slow. Like
still don't have a dining room. Actually, that picture of the photos just sitting on the ground, that is our dining room.
That is the dining room.
So it's currently a storage facility.
A storage facility,
but,
right.
We'll get there.
And actually, the console table for the entry hallway is here.
Oh.
Well, it comes next Tuesday. But it's yesterday for the show you guys are watching. Yep. And it's all coming all the way from Poland because it's handmade. I bought it on Etsy. And so it's custom. So I measured my space that I want it in and like how wide, and because our entry is so beautiful, especially like with the columned walls that we have. And so we don't really want anything protruding out. It just looks so great, just like going straight down. So I didn't want the table coming out too far. And that was the problem that I had when shopping for either like a cute bench to put there or a console table, like an entryway table. A lot of them were very wide and kind of stuck out a little further than the wall. And I was like, eh. And even Adam actually was like, nah, this is like too gorgeous, like to have something kind of poking out. So I said, well, let me just get this, the measurements that we want. And I'm excited to show you guys because I'm excited to have it and decorate it and make it look really cute.
You're going to explain that to me. So what is a console table?
A console table is a table that you put either behind a sofa or a pair of chairs. Okay. If it's behind a sofa, they can be called sofa tables. But
so
then
you can kind of reach behind the sofa and set something down, basically? Or? See, ladies and gentlemen, she's already training me.
I don't know about setting something down.
I'm trying to think, what is the functional purpose?
It's for decor. And then if you have photos, a lot of people put photos there. A lot of people hang their stockings, their Christmas stockings from there if they don't have a fireplace or a certain mantle. You can put, I don't know, an urn, a vase. A lot of people like to leave like a catch-all bowl on their console tables, like put their keys and rings or wallets in there. The remotes, that's usually like a place where they live on a console table or a sofa table. I'm sure some people do put a lot of stuff on their sofa tables, but if we had one, cups would not be sitting on it.
That's funny.
So the console table it goes in like your entryway of your hallway, either like where your bedrooms are, or if you have a hallway that's like has a guest bathroom or something, or your front door entryway. So it's just either like a tall or thin table that goes against the wall, and you want to put cute stuff there to give it a little vibe of the space that you're in.
Very cool, very cool. Hey, you learn something new every day, or at least I do. Maybe I'm the
So I will definitely make sure to take photos for you guys when it comes and when it's all decorated.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, honey. Well, thank you so much as
welcome.
Always, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
And as I mentioned, we're going to keep it rolling. There are so many incredible performances that we are going to roll this into next week. And even though it's January 2022, we're going to do one more edition, Best of 2021, Part 2. And then following that, we have a couple of interviews already on the docs. We're going to revisit the Philip Doc Martin episode that was supposed to air a few weeks ago. And we also have Carl Cox, amazing saxophonist, great artist. I have the good fortune of working with him right now on one of his next tunes, but then also he tours with Mesa. So he will also be appearing on the show, and just cannot wait for it. So thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. If you want to support the show, just click the link in the description, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. You can do stars. You can get to my link for my website and grab any of the projects. And we appreciate you guys. We're going to take you out with one more dynamic performance from 2021, and then we will see you all next week. Have a great evening.